I don't owe you anything. You're impossible to reason with. You're delusional. I don't need your opinion. Wow, you really think you're always right, huh? I don't have to explain myself to you. Keep dreaming. Who asked for your input? I'm not interested in your excuses. Don't act like you're so perfect.
You're not John. You're not John. It's spelled like John, but it is pronounced like yawn. And Eric the actor as the DJ. You, Miss Body, will be super tight. With Eric the actor at the turntables, all the girls will get wet. You're not John. You're not John. It's spelled like John, but it is pronounced like yawn. You're not John. You're not John. It's spelled like John, but it is pronounced like yawn.
Hello! I am Jan! Pronounced Jan! Jan, not John! Jan, not John! I am not John. I am Jan! And thank you for coming to my show! And yes, poop is a delicacy. Me! Num 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 num. Give me your poop. I love your poop. Give me your poop. And welcome to Talking Crap with Jan and Eric! Yay! Yay! Oh God, now we get to the boring stuff. Hackride always makes me do the boring stuff. All right. Everyone here at Hackride Studios, we love gifted memberships. So go to the chat, and at the very top is a pinned chat, and you can click on that and turn on your gifted memberships. And that would be fantastic, because then you can join the fun we're having on the Gongoozlers. And we can also show you the Me Monster of Worcester. It is an original cartoon on the members, and it is fantastic. Also, the Gongoozlers. I'm a Gongoozler. John, not Jan. Oh, Jan is a Gongoozler. Yay. So you can order those, and that would be great. Make sure you get a membership. That would be awesome. And also, if you feel like giving a gift, that would be amazing because it's Christmas time and it is the time of giving. And you can give a membership because we have a saying here at Hackride Studios. Give a gift of a sub, get a Hackrider in the club. It's delightful. Yay. Oh, David has left. No, David, don't leave. Don't leave. I know this is terrible. But shows like this will be a members-only show, so please sign up. It would be preposterous of you not to. Oh, also, the Christmas season is here, so Hackride Studios is offering a limited-time autographed poster. There it is. It's the Gongoozlers. Yes, we are dipping our toes into the poster game, but small posters, not like those big ones from Pottstown. No, we know that mistake. Anyway, get autographs from Hackride, Tookies, Boney the Boner, me, Jan, not John, and Eric, and the two Santas. There's a lot of autographs on one poster. Only 20 are being released, and they are $20 each. Get a very unique gift for yourself or an enemy. Clearly, you would give this to an enemy. Also, if you want to get it, the $20 you can give at Hackride. And there's the Cash App and Venmo. $20 and an address, and you will get an autograph. Also, if you donate $20 tonight in Super Chat, that would be amazing. Or buy 4 memberships, I will give you one of these. It's only 20. All right. Now, some of you have said that I sound like Randy the Raccoon. That's crazy. But I do have some information about poor Randy, because poor Randy, I don't think he made it. Randy, where's Randy? Oh no, we got bad news on Randy. Yes, Randy Raccoon is no longer with us. He was taken and eaten by a hawk. Oh, it's devastating. It was preposterous. His family was devastated. But the good news, everyone, the hawk and its family burned to death in a forest fire. And it's ironical. Yay! So Randy's gone, but so are his murderers. It is astronomical. Bye, Randy! Anyway, we have a lot to do on the show, so welcome! And I'd also like to welcome my producer, the one-time midget worm food now resurrected to serve the demon's bidding here at the studio. One, Eric the Hactor. Hi, Eric, how are you? Hey, Eric. Yeah, so you gotta cut that
What
off.
the fuck am I doing here?
Oh, well, this is part of your penance for going to heaven. You went to hell, and Hagrid dragged you here. Now you can earn your rights to going to heaven, and while also producing my show. Don't you remember, Eric? We had a meeting with Hagrid.
The last thing I remember, I was sucking on Kendra's titties.
No.
Then it got cold. So cold, so cold, so cold. I think I saw Ray DeVito's sexual libido there, yeah?
That's a funny joke, Eric, because Ray has no sexual libido, so it would be cold. You were killing it, buddy. What do you remember from being dead? That's quite an experience. It must have been miraculous.
Hey, are we really going to do this? Is this really a show?
Yes, this is my
Is
show.
this what entertainment is nowadays? Because I am not impressed.
Things have changed a little bit since you were around. We had a little more mainstream. We can't be as edgy as we used to be. That's why I'm a toilet and I eat poop. It's fun. This is as close to the edge as you can get, Eric. But that's why you're here. You're here to be my producer and make me better. Doesn't that sound stupendous?
Cringe. Hey, wait, you mean I'm in charge?
Cringe? How do you know the word cringe if you've only been around? Yes, you are in charge, Eric. I'm a toilet. You gotta tell me what to do. I'm not really interested in being in charge. I just kinda wanna eat the poo-poo. Cause that's what I do, see? I'm a professional at eating the poo-poo.
Gross.
It's not gross, Eric. It's what I eat. And I can tell you have spectacular tasting poo. You're gonna have to give me a taste later.
Hey, fuck you, dude. Not in a million years. Okay, so we had another person here. I supposed to do some, thing about that.
Yes.
He sort of looks like a date rapist.
Oh,
Uh,
Eric, don't be whimsical. This is our special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome from the heartland of America, one Mr. Dabid Collins. Where are you, Dabid Collins?
I'm here. Can
There
you
he
hear me?
is. There's Dabid Collins.
That's telling me that I'm
Hello,
on the
David
show.
Collins.
Am I missing from the show?
You are
Well, I'm happy
Dabid
to
Collins.
be here.
You are on the show. Can I ask you a question before we? Can I ask you a question before we start, David
Yeah,
Collins?
you can ask me anything
The
you'd like.
Tallgrass
I'm happy to
Prairie
answer any
Spirits.
questions
According
here. I'm looking forward to being on the show today. What would you like to ask me?
I would like to ask you, according to local Manhattan, Kansas lore, the spirits of Native American tribes that once roamed the tall glass prairies around Manhattan are said to still watch over the area. Some residents claim to have experienced mysterious and unexplained phenomena while exploring the prairie lands. David Collins, have you had any of these experiences?
No, actually, I have not. And I've been asked that on the show before. I've actually had a guest that asked me about any paranormal experiences. That must be something that people kind of know of Manhattan, Kansas. But no, I do not have any of those.
It's in the
paranormal
Google
experiences.
search. It's
I
in the
do
top
have
2 of the
a story-
Google.
Well, I do have an interesting story about aliens, but even the short version takes about 15 minutes to get through. So I'm not sure if it's a really
No!
story today.
No, your legs will fall asleep by then. I can't let that happen. stories have to be under 5 minutes or your legs will fall asleep with me and then you'll fall over. We call it the Elvis.
Well, this is very strange. You know, only 19 months ago, I was on a very reputable radio station, and now I'm here, so I'm happy to be here, of course. But this is strange. It's going to be the weirdest episode of Pee Wee Herman I think anybody's ever seen.
Dude, that's a downfall that Stuttering John would be jealous of. Congratulations.
Do they call you Stuttering John?
I know. I'm Yawn, not John. Did you not see the intro? Yawn, not John. Yawn. No, it's a hit of...
Incidentally, I'm infamously terrible with names. Infamous B.O.G. But I'm infamously very bad with names. But we'll get through this. You said it's Yawn.
It's Yawn, like you...
No,
Yawn, not John. I did an example for you.
Am I only audio only for the viewers today?
No, you're just very small so I can control you.
I see.
This is how I control my guests. I look at them and they're very small and I'm very big. You're like turds. You could go down me and I could eat you.
Now, I don't want to interrupt the show, but Jerry is giving me a really hard time here. He wanted to ask you, if you are eating breakfast and somebody leaves the lid up, how do you chew?
That's a complicated question. I could break it down to 5 parts and we would be here for 20 minutes. But again,
well, as you
your legs would fall asleep.
Only take right.
Yes. David Collins, you didn't even say hi to Eric. Eric, would you like to say anything to David Collins?
Well, I've already heard him.
Prick. Is that mustache even real?
Oh,
exactly.
David,
I try to avoid negativity generally. If somebody's speaking to me that way, that's somebody that we just put on the ignore side of things. And I try not to try to get in the mix. Boy, is his head uncomfortably close to mine now that you've shown the camera view.
He's going to give you a kiss, David Collins. He wants to kiss it. He's seeing if that mustache is real because I got to admit it doesn't look very real. He's just examining it. That's all.
I see.
That's not very nice of you, Eric. Ooh,
well, I'm glad that he's here. You know, it is very strange. A lot of people don't know this about me. I'm a big fan of street freaks. I go around and I like to talk to homeless people or different people on the street. So it is something that I might be more used to. Although he does seem to, speaking of stuttering, mentally, I'm not sure if Eric seems to be all there.
I don't think he would like you talking. Do you have any questions for Eric? Because he seems to be up your ass a little bit right now, David Collins. Do you have any questions for Eric?
Eric, how does it feel to be a member of the Whack Tomb?
Oh, you gotta start like that. He's gonna be mad, Eric. Remember, he's a guest.
This is who you got hack right.
Yes.
This is our great secret weapon.
I thought so.
Yeah, we're already in deep fucking trouble. Next question, asshole.
Oh, it looks like you made Eric mad, David Collins.
Right.
I would tread lightly on your next question.
Must be very easy to make him mad. And I don't have any really questions. Of course, that was just a joke. We like to have fun on the show that I'm on, David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. We have a lot of fun. But I did have some questions. I was reading an interesting article out of what's the school in New Orleans, but they had a brand new wheelchair that's being developed specifically for children with disability. Isn't that interesting? So I was just curious. We had written down here, what kind of wheelchair does Eric use? Because this was a fascinating story that I saw this week out of New Orleans.
That's a good question, David Collins. Eric, what kind of wheelchair do you use, Eric? David Collins had a good question.
The kind I use to run over your mother's toes, so when she bends over, I can stick my veiny cock in her ass.
Eric!
I must impress that is not very funny. My mom is only 3 months from being discharged from the hospital. She's still recovering. I'm so glad that we get to spend so much time together right now. But she is dealing with a very severe illness. So I would rather not see any jokes about my mother at this point.
David, Eric said you have AIDS. That's not true, Eric. That's not true. David Collins does not have AIDS or the HIV. David, you don't have AIDS, do you?
I don't think that's an appropriate question to ask. I actually believe that you're crossing a legal line by even bringing the subject up.
Yes, it's a HIPAA. I told Eric it would be a HIPAA violation for you to answer. Good answer. We tested you and you passed.
Well, on that same note, I
Congratulations.
do have maybe as long as we're sharing, my answer is no. But Eric, I would be wondering, out of being, and also being in a wheelchair, which of those disabilities do you think might be worse?
The only disability that I have, you anorexic magnum PI cosplay cuck, is I sometimes humor retards who are far below my intelligence level.
I'm just gonna have to take Magnum as a compliment, I think.
That's horrid. You used the R word and you said he was a Magnum PI cosplay cuck and anorexic. He said you have AIDS. Eric, you be nice to our guest. This is David Collins.
Everybody listening, you'll have to excuse me. I lost my chapstick earlier. My lips are getting redder by the minute. By the end of the show, I'll be wearing a blonde wig and going by Darla.
Ooh, you thinking you can come to Los Angeles and you'll be a pretty lady here in L.A. All the pretty ladies have cocks here in L.A., David Collins.
Right, that's what we've heard. And I try not to talk too much. My old program director, Sloan, back in Manhattan, Kansas, he was always making these jokes about Californians. He would say, California, the land of fruits and nuts, which I don't think is appropriate, and I don't really stand by that, but it's something that he would make all the time, that Sloan.
David Collins, that's very offensive. How dare you come on my show as a guest and you violate the terms of service of YouTube? We're going to be kicked off the air. Do you have any more questions for Eric before we go off the air? How dare you, David Collins?
Well, as long as we're making jokes, I do have some clean jokes. Do you guys like clean jokes? I'm a big fan of clean jokes. I think I've said that a few times.
Yeah, we don't know what clean jokes are, Hacker. Does that mean you take the jokes about cum and you put them through the dishwasher? Is it cum in the dishwasher? Is that a clean joke? Did I do it, David Collins?
Well, I'll tell you. I don't know about you guys. I'm glad that man got a handle on his exotic pet problem before the saying became to address the lion in the room. We've been doing a lot of writing for the show this week, and we have so many other projects that we're working on. Our writing staff has been working overtime.
That sounds like it, David Collins. I did not understand the setup, but the punchline sounded amazing. But Eric, do you like clean? David Collins asked if we like clean jokes. I don't think so. Do you like them, Eric?
Yeah, you know what? I am from San Francisco, California.
Yeah, I know.
I'm sick and tired of your flyover country questions.
Uh-oh.
You should burn that Kansas State degree right now. Because it is clearly as useless as the toilet paper hanging off of yawn.
It's actually done very well for me, of course. I would say. I would say I've had a lot of success with that degree, but I can understand your criticism there. I must say this is very strange. So Eric, the actor, I believe, died in 2014. So I'm impressed that you have somebody. I assume it's an actor back there. But we did have a question. Jerry, being the goofball that he is, at a question here, he said, "What's midget heaven like? Is it like regular heaven but smaller?"
Regular heaven is when your quarterback doesn't enter the transfer portal and you have a chance at a championship, not like Kansas State, whose quarterback just entered the portal. Bye-bye, championship chances. Oh, that's too bad. You know who Oregon got? Oregon got Dylan Gabriel from Oklahoma. We are pre-rated number 4. That's too bad for Kansas State. Now let me get to your thing about heaven. I don't know, Eric.
Well, this is the strangest thing. People say all the time that the callers into a radio show are meant to be the wacky ones, but we seem to have a weird... I did ask, I understand that there's a chat going. Is this a live show?
Are we on the air? I thought you were just going to talk like this before you pooped in me. I thought we were on a private call for pooping.
Oh, there, I see a chat there. Perfect. So if this is a live show, now I'm not really
Eric has written $4.99 from Taylor Swift. That's money. You be quiet when they give us money, David Collins.
Trailer Swift, you should give it back. If they're in a trailer, I'm sure they're having a lot of difficulty there. But all I was saying is if anybody, I'm not able to read the chat here, if anybody would like me to respond to their comments, email me, dc30minutehalfhour@gmail.com. And I have my email here, and we'll go ahead and read any of those comments you send me while live on the air today.
Yes, and every once in a while, you talk to that weird Jerry guy. And I don't know about Jerry. He's a weirdo. Where did you meet this Jerry guy at?
Well, I prefer not to get too specific, but I'll say that he is somebody that surrounded himself also with comedians at a lot of these areas in Iowa here, and he's somebody that was very happy to produce and help me out with the show. I don't even believe that he got involved until about episode 9 and episode 10, and he said we should get a camera on and get a more visual element, and it must have been the biggest change that we've had on the show thanks to Jerry. So he's gone ahead and maintained as an intern a lot of work in the show, of course, and is doing so much more for us with these new projects that we've been starting. It's very exciting. I'm so happy to have him on. I don't know what I might not even be able to put on this computer had it not been for Jerry.
It sounds like Jerry's a great guy. I was looking more like, did you meet him at a glory hole or at a booth? But that's a good answer, too.
I was just reading an interesting story about a glory hole, actually. This is a bit of an after-hours show. Can we talk about that?
Glory holes are my favorite. Usually they sit on me when they cut them, and then they put their penises through them, and they poop afterwards, and I eat. Nom, 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 nom. Go ahead.
Joe, I think you'll have to look at Eric for those Queen jokes.
I don't think he's interested in your ad-libbing. He's not a yes-and character. He's more of a pre-scripted and go to the goddamn script.
You know who's known for the last time that I heard yes and, of course, I'm not involved with any improv. The last term I heard yes and was on our show. We had friend of the show, Cardiff Electric, on the show. And I can't imagine how many times Jerry had to cut out so many yes ands in an episode.
Oh, you had the potato. I love the potato. Although I've tried to flush him many times, he just spins around, but I love him.
A lot of people are into that, actually. People take big objects and they try to see if they're able to be flushed.
Is this what your mother tried to do with you when you were born? Is this a memory?
Well, I wouldn't say that. We do have a lot of memories from my childhood, though, but not anything that dramatic, I would say. I would say the most traumatic memories that I have must be when I was 18 and my mother had this severe disease. I try not to get too specific there, but that was around the same time that her father had kind of left the situation. I went off to college in Kansas State University there. Very traumatic time in my life. Thank God for radio.
That leads me to my next question, David Collins. In moments of absolute solitude, void of external influence, what thoughts or sensations emerge, and how do you interpret them?
Well, it's funny that you bring that up, actually. I was going to bring my Kick the Can from home, but I'm a big fan of the game Kick the Can, and there's a lot of things. They say that practice it can be done 80% of the way with just imagination. So when I have that opportunity and I'm doing nothing else, I'll be envisioning different ways that I could become better at Kick the Can. Or bowling. I'm a big fan of bowling, but I only get the opportunity to do that a few times a year. Kick the Can is a much more self-motivating game.
David Collins, if I asked you to consider the concept of nothingness, how do you personally grapple with the idea of non-existence before birth and after death? How do you do it?
Well, I have no real issue with that. I guess it's just like turning the radio off. I'm not really, I try not to think about such existential issues, of course. Just trying to create a good product for my former audience and now new audience too. The show has really taken off. I'm so excited.
Well, that's where I noticed it. I noticed you on the Blind Mike program, which is really good because I like, Blind Mike. He often misses. That's what I will say about Blind Mike. He aims well, but often misses. I mean, he's blind.
I've been told Jerry did a little digging, and he found much more negative comments on that channel in a variety, even of the things that they talk to. He struggled to bring me back any negative David Collins 30-minute half-hour show content back from the Blind Mike comment section. So I'm so happy to hear that everybody's been enjoying it.
Yes, I was in charge of erasing all the bad comments. I was busy night and day cleaning that up for you.
Is that right?
You liked it. Yes, did you like it? Did your producer like it?
We choose not to. We don't like to censor any feedback that we have. Does Blind Mike and do you work with him to actually delete comments that are put onto the page?
Oh, God, yes. We call it the Stu Gotts rule. You only allow good comments and money. Everything else doesn't exist. It's like a poop that's been flushed. We like the poops that float. The poops that float are money and good comments, David Collins. You got to get in the real world. You have this idea of, I'm not going to block anyone. We'll wait until they get your address, and then we'll see. We'll see, David Collins.
Well, we'll see. I'm all over the place. Of course, today we're in Jerry's basement. My car, I'm all over the state. Really, we have a couple of places. I'm a big fan of Airbnb. But if I'm not at my mother's in Iowa City, I'm often here with Jerry or another comedian, or I have to go get it in Airbnb. But it's going to be very difficult to locate me. I'll tell you that.
No, it is very difficult to locate.
In fact,
you
my
because
mother
you
doesn't even
don't
have the same last name. I can't imagine how anybody would go about that. There was one episode where I tried to explain where the name David Collins 30-minute half-hour show comes from, because it does rhyme with my mother's name. Actually, it has nothing to do with the time of the show. But I decided we bleeped out some of that information and edited around it. That way we're not doxing my poor mother.
Is her name Mulva?
It is not. But I insist that we can't play this 20 questions. If you get it too close, I'll just have to lie. And I am not a deceptive person.
Okay.
Now, I understand you have...
Hold on. Everyone, we're at the time. Did not much how much we all miss Eric, and he's coming back too. But I gotta remind you all.
Subscribe and smash that motherfucking like button, you maggots!
Yeah, subscribe and smash the like button, you maggots, and join the membership. That's where I'll be, with 2 keys, and Boney the Boner and the 2 Santas behind the membership wall, and with David Collins, baby. If he doesn't drink himself to death and fall in a ravine with his truck and die this time.
I love that video. I'll tell you. Now, I had a question. What would you call the format of this show? Is this a podcast?
This is a poop. This is the talk before the poop.
Poopcast.
Yes. But we don't want your legs to get all needly and tingly, so we gotta keep moving here. So would you like to stick around and watch the clip package that I have made for us?
Yeah, I'd love to see the
David
clips. Like I said,
Collins?
I love production value in a podcast there. In fact, this whole arrangement that we have now that you brought, in fact, bringing up a toilet, a very bright young woman reached out to the show and let me know that on another show, it appeared that I was sitting on the loo the entire show. So that's why we've chosen this new setup here. I'd love to see that clip, though.
Well, I actually thought you were going to be doing the show from the bathroom. I thought David Collins is super smart and funny. He'll probably do the show from the bathroom. So to see you in the living room is kind of it's depressing a little that you aren't as funny as I thought.
Would you call this the living room?
I think I call that the last room the women see before they go to hell. That's a comical opening of your drink, David Collins. That was amazing. That was preposterous. Would you like to watch some of these clips with me, David Collins?
I'm looking forward to it. As you can tell, I'm refreshing my beverage in hopes that we can watch this clip. Preparation, yes. You might say.
Yes. I call it my brain feces. You want to see my brain feces? And Eric has some comments on my brain feces, too. Eric loves my brain feces, so let Eric comment first on my brain feces. Then you can comment on my brain feces, David Collins.
Age before beauty.
Yes, Eric, he called you old. I'm only a lonely toilet and I have never driven. But to me, this is a normal day on LA freeways. I enjoy adding marimba music to every fight, just to make it a little funner, David Collins. You should try it. When you have fights, put funny music under it. It's real fun.
It almost
What
appears.
Do you think, Eric?
If I was blocked there, I would tell my driver to turn all these assholes into a bunch of Eric the Hactors.
That's very funny. You would turn them all into you. And like I said before, David Collins, Eric likes commenting first, and then you can comment. All right, you understand how that works? Because I'm on a delay now because I have too much stuff going on. So Eric has to go first.
Me. It must be my rodeo instinct there. Of course, there was an interruption in the video. I just wanted to make sure that we were filling in that time.
Yes, you are amazing at making no dead air. I call him No Dead Air David because there's never dead air with David around. It's
Well, generally people say
astonishing.
David No Dead Air Collins, but I understand the mistake. I'd love to see the rest of this clip.
I didn't tell you I was originally made in Australia, so sometimes I swirl backwards and I do the things backwards, David Collins. Yes, let's watch the rest of this clip.
Uh-oh.
Yes, by the way, I think it worked, David Collins. I think the war is over. I think when they stopped the freeway, that ended the war. Congratulations, protesters. Oh.
Well, I actually think one of the main issues is that the freeways are blocked. I'm not really keeping too much, but I do read the paper every morning.
Yes, they were blocked and there were school buses there, but they didn't care. And so I was like, I'm for sure now on your side. You clearly have the high road here. What do you think, David Collins? Do you think children should be stuck in traffic for multiple hours while protests go on? And maybe people that are going to the hospital might die. Isn't that amazing, David Collins?
It is interesting, but I love this country so much. I love it when the youth gets any opportunity to see one of our First Amendments in action, a protest breaking up traffic and cutting down industry. A very fascinating subject that we get to experience so much more day by day this year.
That's amazing commentary. I did not know you had that in you. All right, now we are moving on. I recently saw that Marilyn Manson had a commercial, David Collins, for an upcoming show. But it was 3 a.m. and when I rubbed my eyes, I saw it wasn't Marilyn Manson, it was Marilyn Manson. Let's check it out.
Manson.
Marilyn Manson llega al patio de la secundaria Mártires de Zacatepan. 3 funciones, 4, 6 y 8 de la noche. Marilyn Manson. Más de 65 presentaciones en vivo, 5 cumpleaños y 3 bautizos.
¡Esto fue el final!
Una producción de Hector.
Eric, what do you think of Marilyn Manson, Eric?
I wonder how many women the Mexican version assaulted and imprisoned.
That's a good point, Eric. How many do you think he imprisoned? David Collins? And how many do you think he sexually assaulted, David Collins? It's Mexico. There's a lot less rules.
I am only soaking in what he just said right now. I am so thrown. Marilyn Manson, I'm not familiar. Is he also a rock artist?
Yes, he's Mexican's assaulter, Marilyn Manson. He's their version of our assaulter and imprisoner of women. How many women do you think he imprisoned?
Do we get to play? I'm a big fan of gambling, actually. Maybe over under 14. I'm going to go over.
No, you win. It's 22. David Collins wins the gamble. He imprisoned 22 women. Marilyn Manson. Yes. Okay, now we are going to Nana.
What's the best thing about imprisoning 22 girls? There are 20 of them. Well, I don't think that's how the joke goes. Anyway, you are moving on with the next clip, I believe.
I sent you the terms of service for YouTube, David Collins, and you're not following them. You got to follow the terms of service, or this show with toilet and poop will be thrown away.
I understand. I'm only looking at the clock here. I like to shoot in the early evening. Of course, this is more of an after-hours show, but I can understand we'll pull it back a little bit here.
Yes, just like all the women you've ever run into where you try to kiss or touch in a sexual way, you need to pull back. You need to pull back a little bit. Something is scary here, David Collins. Terms of service. Yes. I am drinking you talk. David Collins, are you ready for some old bitches?
I'm prepared. I was just checking my email. Unfortunately, nobody's emailed me any comments to dc30minutehalfhour@gmail.com, but that's perfectly fine. I promise I'll read them on the air.
Well, most people are high on a macro dose of psychedelics right now, David Collins. So they need to come down and then have a day of refractory period.
Right.
And then we'll judge their life.
much of your audience must be from that LA area, just like much of my audience is from where I originally came from, Manhattan, Kansas, there, although it's changed sporadically. But is most of your audience in that LA area?
No, actually, most of my audience is on the East Coast because I started on the Blind Mike show.
I
So that
see.
makes me have to get up 3 hours before everyone. It's real fucking annoying. And also, they're very pasty and
Do
like
you
the
work on the
Patriots
Blind
way
Mike
too
show
much.
also, John?
It's Jan, not John. And yes, the person who poops in me does, and I consider that part of me. Poop
see.
and me are part of each other. So yes, existentially, it is a part of me. Thank you for recognizing that. You are very great. Would you like to see old ladies? And would you like to see how much your nana gets sex at the senior home, David Collins?
I would be interested to know. That might be something more I'd like to read on paper, though. Not maybe see.
No, let's watch.
What is the secret of your two of living so long and so well? What's the secret?
6 feet. 26 and no 6.
What?
Is
David
that true,
Collins.
Doris?
No 6 plus goose.
David Collins. Nana's giving up the poo nana. Eric, what do you think about Nana giving up the poo nana?
I bet that old cooter looks like that thing on David Collins' face.
Oh, he got you, David Collins. He said that her cooter looked like that thing on your face, and it kind of looks like a cooter.
Right. Well, at that age, I'm sure it's very difficult to kind of tend to yourself. I wouldn't give her a hard time for that. That is interesting.
That's a good point.
Only 5 years ago, I was reading a story of the oldest woman at that point, and she accredited her lifespan to having 1 Miller Lite a day. No mention of sexuality in that article. So this is an interesting new take that we haven't heard. It seems that these lifestyle hacks change every year, almost to the opposite of what it was the year before.
Did they say where she put the can of beer, David Collins? Maybe she put it in her...
fair point.
Maybe she put it in an orifice and then had sexual gratification. And then we're talking the same game, David Collins.
Right.
All right. I need you to... Have you
I think
played
that's what
video...
that tab is for.
It is what the tab
Miller
is.
Lite. Miller Lite.
I would have guessed Bud Light, but yes, that makes sense too, David. Now, it is important, David, to make a positive impact statement for the judge if one of your loved ones is in jail. And so, or you could just make sure he spends forever there, David, incarcerated. This one is preposterous.
I'm only waiting for the call.
This is gamer words, everyone, so cover your ears if you're this is not G-rated.
Fake Juan ain't do nothing. All he did was rob the gas station. Y'all acting like he robbed Walmart or something. Release my nigga. Release my nigga.
David Collins.
Wow.
David Collins, what do you think of that?
I and many people around this great country of ours rob Walmarts and Hy-Vees and Sam's Clubs all over the country every day. These gas stations are run by not big corporations, but many times franchisees. You should not be stealing from a gas station. Take it to Walmart. She's just misunderstood there, but I think that would be an easy correction. Then her husband can serve her time, and they can go on and move it to a corporation that they may be taking from. Although I don't believe in stealing in any case. It just seems to come up sometimes. They give you these self-serve scanning machines. They don't do that at a gas station. You have to lie to someone. And as I've already said on this show, hate to be deceptive.
That's a very good answer, David Collins. And yes, I never thought about it that way. That he should have robbed Walmart because it's a giant corporation and not a family-run gas station. Lock him up. We're not freeing your brother. We're not freeing your brother. No, we're not. No, we're not. Good call, David. What do you think, Eric?
I heard 3 strip clubs already put offers in on the baby in this video.
Oh.
She is an early 5-star recruit.
Oh. Yes, she is definitely going to the poll. The baby in that video is definitely going to end up on a poll. Do you like the poll? Do you like strip clubs, David Collins?
I'm distracted by Eric's propensity there. That's a little odd. Although it is his size, I don't think that's appropriate. I actually had a question here. You know, if he does watch, I believe Jerry had a question. And Jerry, did we have a question about what type of pornography that a man of this size would be watching? Well, I guess we don't have.
I'm looking at the questions.
We did have that question. We did have that question. I mean, that's a legitimate question that we wanted to ask. What type
Eric, hold on, Eric. Let me ask you. Would you like to talk about what kind of pornography you watch?
No.
Okay, let's move on. Okay. He doesn't want to talk about his pornography.
You know, I saw somebody that looked like Eric the other day. The other day. He had a man bun. He got a little offended when I asked him if it was a mini muffin.
Hey-o! That's a funny joke, David Collins. It does look like a muffin on top of their head sometimes.
Right.
And it sometimes looked like a hacky sack, too. Like they had a hacky sack, and it fell off their head, and then they put it back on their head, and it looks like a hacky sack. Do you like my joke, too, David Collins?
Yeah, I suppose. You know, it may be something that we'd have to work on. I'm a big fan of word economy, so we might have to cut that down. As long as we're on a racial subject here, I did have a question. Now, John pronounced Jan. I'm catching on here. That's generally a more Hispanic take. But I noticed, and I have to ask, as a toilet, what ethnicity are you?
I'm Swedish.
Well, that certainly makes sense. Let's go ahead and continue with the clips here. I'm very excited.
Yes, this one is if you had your aunt turn into a gangster rapper. Let's watch.
Sticking with the racial material, I see.
I don't give a fuck how you feeling. I'm out here hustling, wheeling and dealing. Shit be hard, but you're clueless. You don't know? Out here wasting space, you're fucking useless. You have no idea what the struggle looks like. Talking shit like you Dolomite. Motherfucker. Thinking living a struggle is a flex. Capping, talking about you living in the jet.
She had a lot of money.
What do you think, David Collins?
A lot of money in her hands.
She stood on her porch. Yes, they stood on her porch and had her child film her in portrait mode. Wasn't that amazing? That was fantastic, David Collins. What do you think?
Well, it must be better than the trip to Hot Topic that they went on earlier. It was strange. She has all that money and she's wearing ripped clothing, so I'm not exactly sure. But I'm catching on here to the drift. Again, though, I wonder, was that racial in any way? It seemed very, very strange. You seem to be going down a line here. I'm worried about what's next.
I'm not racial. I eat everyone's poop the same. They all taste the same to me. But what do you think, Eric?
If I saw her and shoot knife coming at me at the same time, I would jump into Shoe's arms and beg him to save me.
I guess she's scarier than Shoe. Well, he has a speech impediment. Are you David Collins? Are you making fun of Eric's? He can't say ooh. He says I've tried many times. He can't say ooh. He can only say ooh.
Did he say that he'd be hiding in shoes in that instance? I'm not sure. What are you getting at there, Eric?
I don't know. I don't have that program, so we can't ask him. But that's a good question, David Collins. Now, let me ask you. Have you heard about the wokeness at Disney? Disney is woke now.
Is that right? Well, they did have a movie called Sleeping Beauty, and I know when that ended, she was awakened. So is that what's happening there?
No, Sleeping Beauty was rape. She was kissed without her permission. That was a form of rape, Sleeping Beauty. Do you not know that?
Well, I believe it was a metaphor, much like the Bible. I believe many Disney movies follow those same stories that have been told for a millennia.
Yes, well, Disney is trying to reshape all the characters in an image that is more proper with how the average American looks. So
I see. Well, I hope they're not shaped like you.
Well, I thought you would like my figure. I did some push-ups for you, David Collins.
Would you explain how you do a push-up?
It's two. I just did 2 push-ups for you, David Collins. I don't have arms.
Maybe more of a crunchy, I would say, but, just for future reference. But working out, that's great. No, you have a great figure, Jan.
Crunchy is what you put in me when you eat a lot of protein, David Collins. Hey-o.
Okay.
Hey. So here is the new Batwoman from Disney. And she
that's
all
great.
Yes, she hits all the demographics.
Have no fear. Catwoman is here.
David Collins, Catwoman is here. What are you gonna do?
I disagree. I think she looks so good. She has the full game graphics.
Yes, she does. Eric, what do you think?
Can you imagine how sweaty she is in that leather suit? She is being slowly cooked, and I would definitely like to roll around in those juices.
Oh, Eric, you are a dirty devil. That is preposterous. Eric wants to roll around in Catwoman's juices.
Well, you better be careful. You know, if somebody his size can drown in only half an inch of water, I can't imagine how much sweat she's producing under there.
That is a lot of sweat, I am sure. Now we are almost done. We have a few more David Collins. I want to introduce you to the greatest beef song ever made.
May I ask, what do you call this video that we're watching?
I call it my brain feces.
Right.
These are the videos you all watch when you are sitting on me, and so I picked the best.
We're still in the brain feces segment.
It's so long, David Collins.
Okay, as long as I'm still with you here, of course. I think we've gone to 2 of these drinks during the brain feces.
That's what happens with brain feces. We're almost done, though. We would have been done if you didn't interrupt me, but that's how it works in the Midwest.
No, that's fine. You should go along. You are a host of the show. I apologize for interrupting, and you told me before the show, and I promised that I would write this down. Do not talk over each other. Did not write it down, and that's my mistake.
You are getting a very strongly worded letter from Hack right after this, but
that's
I think
great.
he's
the
overall
only email that I've received all show.
Yes. Yes, we are not hack writers are not emailers. We are more we come to your house and we piss on your yawn. That's what
Maybe
we
I should
do.
check the Instagram. Jerry, could you pull that up? Go ahead and move on with the clips. I apologize.
There's gonna be nothing there either, David Collins. Our milkshake brings no boys to the yard, David Collins. But you had to do this if you wanted to keep your connection with Blind Mike, and I understand that because I leveraged that.
Well, I don't know if
I'm
that's
a toilet
exactly
that
the
knows
case.
my place in the world.
Jerry actually says we're working on a great project for Blind Mike coming up towards the end of the year. I don't want to blow anything up here, but of course we've been in regular communications with Mike Geary, and I'm very happy to say what a warm gentleman that man is.
Yes, I hate to break it to you, but you've been in contact with AI Mike and me. Just kidding, David Collins. That's the real one. Or maybe not. Maybe I'm the real one. Or maybe not. Maybe he's the real one.
I don't believe that that's going to be the case, but maybe it is. We're always worried. In fact, I did get a new sponsorship on the show this week, and we said, you know, I'm not exactly sure. Did a little bit of digging. A scam company. So incidentally, we could not take that sponsorship on, but we were talking. I have continued conversation with them. Maybe we'll get that fake sponsorship, that scam company, on the show as a guest and try to address that situation specifically. So we're still working on that situation, but we definitely get those IMs coming in from plenty of fake people, I'll tell you.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Eric.
Thank you, Eric.
Yes, that was nice of Eric. He can be nice, David Collins.
I think we're warming up.
Yes, I think pretty soon you will show each other your privates, and then you will go off to a bedroom and get it on.
He's clearly not my type, but we'll go ahead and continue on. What's next, Akron?
Speaking of someone going into the bedroom and getting it on, do you have a brother, David Collins?
No, I am in fact a single child. I do have a half brother that I don't really talk about too much, but no, I am between my mother and my father. I was raised a single child, certainly.
Yes, they saw you and were like, we're done. We don't want any more David Collinses. One David Collins is enough.
Well, it was more of a personal thing between them, but I can understand the joke.
Yes. Maybe he just liked her asshole. Anyway, here we go.
My brother's gay and that's okay. The haters may hate, but I love how he's gay. He is so gay in every way.
David Collins, he's gay and that's okay. Would you write a song about your stepbrother like that?
Well, maybe if it was 2002, 2006, I think that's a little dated at this point. Although it may be coming back, it actually seems much more difficult to be a gay man in this society when we're seeing so many variations. I'm not sure if there's a lot of the first letters of this LGBT, I'm not sure get a lot of representation these days. So I'm happy to see a video like that promoting his brother. That's actually very heartwarming. I hope all the viewers like that too. Who was that person? Can we go ahead and give them our support?
Yes, that's Gay Chad. And his brother, Gay Kevin. Gay Chad and Gay Kevin.
I
and
see, so they're both gay.
Yes, that's why he would sing so honestly about it. And David Collins, it's so nice of you to be honest about your sexuality in front of all these people. That's amazing that you came out on the toilet show.
Well, you know, it's not very appropriate for this type of show, but I will say you are on the wrong angle there. We've thought of so many great things for the show, though. But getting this explicit is just not very appropriate for the type of show that I'm trying to produce. But we have thought of many ideas that involve drawing those gray lines. It's 2023. I don't really believe anybody should be ascribing to those labels.
You know, you're right. I'm sorry, David Collins. I overstepped my boundaries. I think we should go to some more PG kind of content so we can get more in the realm of stuff that you can air on your show. I apologize. So let me tell you. Here's a little message.
Now I do
women.
have friend of the show Dan McCullough. We're probably past too late there, but we could always give friend of the show comedian Dan McCullough a call. I don't want to speak on behalf of his brother.
Are you calling Dan McCullough's brother gay?
We should move on with the show. I'm not too sure. I've just heard rumors going around. Of course, we're not the closest of friends, but we are becoming closer as this show grows. So it is interesting to hear more about his life. Maybe we could hear about it personally from him, but maybe the next segment would be more appropriate. I just know we have been talking all day about today. He said, maybe I could call in. Do they do call-ins on the show? He's waiting for me to text a phone number. We imagined that this was like a radio show where you'd be taking live call-ins during the show.
I would have to have arms. And then I also have a producer in a wheelchair, so it's very hard for me.
There's so much production value on this show. I can't imagine you don't have that potential, but maybe for the future. John, I'm so excited this is your first production. It should be great in the future. I can't imagine what this could grow.
It's Jan! It's Jan, not John.
Right.
Jan, not John. I put it at the song at the beginning. How do you keep forgetting? I think you're disrespecting me on... David Collins, you're my friend. You're not my enemy. You're not disrespecting me on purpose, are you?
Oh, we're learning to know each other. I've told you I'm infamously terrible at names. I have some corrections to make, and we could get into that. I wouldn't really be appropriate to do on this show, but in future show, whenever we do get to it, I have so many name corrections I have to correct there. I've made so many mistakes in the past.
Well, you're forgiven. So let's go to a little more PG content for David Collins. He doesn't like the X-rated material we are showing on YouTube, even though it does not violate the terms of service. So we will go to a little nicer thing. So this is a message to all the women before the holidays. Merry Christmas, all women. Here we go, David Collins.
Happy holidays.
Your pussy. Hey, bring the camera, son. Bring the camera. All the young girls who want to make life with pussy, your pussy will perish with you in hell. May your pussy perish with you. May your smooth pussy, creamier pussy, and tight pussy perish.
David Collins. Happy Merry Christmas and all the pussies die in hell. What a Christmas message, huh, David Collins?
Well, I wouldn't want to speak on his culture. If that's how they feel over there, I would have nothing to say in the contrary.
That's a good point. All right, so I didn't really know how to title this next one, so I just left the mom title up because, oh my God, when you see this, I guess I could have gone with Joey C's phrase, "Look behind me," but it just felt wrong. So anyway, David Collins, you have not seen anything like this ever. Watch.
You're right. I've not seen anything like this before. Is that Eric?
Yes, David Collins. He is like you. He's an original. David Collins, what do you think of him?
Well, I have to apologize. We were having some
David
technical
Collins, where
issues,
did you
and
go?
My hand signals were not doing the thing over here to get this corrected. Jerry, you really messed up here. So we just had to. I apologize, but I did see the initial part of that clip. So was that Eric the actor, or somebody of the type of Eric the actor that was performing there?
No, that was a child from Mexico whose head is on backwards. Eric, what do you think of the kid whose head was on backwards?
This is evolution. Finally, a human who can make full eye contact with you in the doggy style position.
That's a great point, Eric. He can look you straight in the eyes while you're in the doggy style position. That is the future of human evolution. What do you think, David Collins?
I really need to stop. Eric, you have no experience in that. I have no idea why you would be even making that joke. It's not really appropriate. Eric, what do you even know about the doggy style position?
I'm pretty sure Eric has had more sex than you, David Collins. I know he doesn't like to speak for his conquests, but he had over a week or two he spent at the Hustler House, or what was it called in Vegas? The brothel in Vegas. He spent 2 weeks there and he slept with all the girls. He's had more sex than any man alive.
I don't even think a dog in a wheelchair would be able to perform doggy style.
You need to look up Eric the Midget nude, and you will find great pictures, David Collins.
Well, I'd rather not. You know, Jerry was blowing up my inbox the other day with another Howard Stern character that you were referring to, Beetlejuice nude. I recommend nobody looks at this. This is very traumatic, and I would rather not see any other of these characters in the nude.
Everyone right now, search Beetlejuice nude. Do it. And look at his little wiener.
And if you do search Beetlejuice nude, make sure you email me, dc30minutehalfhour@gmail.com, so you can relate with how traumatic this really is.
And when you attach Beetlejuice's wiener, go ahead and attach your own. David Collins would like to look at your wiener too. So go ahead and send Beetlejuice's wiener and your own wiener to David's email.
Did you fill through these emails here, Jerry?
David's gonna look at a lot of penises soon. All right, we have one more video, David. Do you want to watch it?
I'm looking forward to it, and this was not at all what I expected today. I love so much production value in a show here. Again, though, would you call this like an internet radio show? What's going on here? What would you call this?
I call this the time before you get lighter.
Okay.
This is the pre-poop time. You leave and you're lighter. So here we go. This one's a little long one. Have you ever done Special K, David Collins?
Special K. It used to be my favorite cereal growing up. I think I aged out of it in my teenage years, but Special K, it does have a special place in my heart, no pun intended.
Oh, it's a different kind of Special K. This one gets you high. So let's watch this man from England get high for the very first... What?
I'm not the biggest fan of drugs here. Jerry twisting my arm. I said, no way I'm going to touch that, especially before the show. But I completely understand. What is Special K?
It is ketamine. It's a tranquilizer for animals, but it works in humans, David Collins, in a very funny way.
Nice.
Hold on. Everyone, hold on. We're almost there. Hey-o! Okay, David Collins, that was a good joke. No, but this imagine this is you, David Collins, because this man was not a drug user either, and he's given Special K in the hospital for the first time. So let's watch.
Well, that's very dangerous, I can understand.
Across a few of the bones of your ankle.
Right.
So it might need an operation to fix it. Okay.
Right.
Before the operation, Neil's ankle must be manipulated back into place.
This should actually clunk back in fairly quickly.
Right.
You just need a good painkiller.
Right, cool.
So the one that we actually use now more commonly is ketamine.
Ketamine is a fairly powerful anaesthetic, and it's quite unique. It works by dissociation. So the patient may be awake but not aware of their surroundings, rather than being completely under like some of the other anaesthetics.
So think of somewhere nice, generally.
Wittenberg Bay, South Africa.
Fantastic.
That's where my friends are.
Brilliant. Nice sunny day. Think of happy times. And when you wake up, we'll have this plaster on for you.
Brilliant.
Okay. Start to feel your eyes going slightly odd.
Wow.
Yeah. Ooh. So he's had some ketamine. It's pretty strong stuff. So he may scream out in pain or do any of this stuff, but he's actually unaware of what's going on. So.
Oh, God. Yee-haw.
Sounds like me at the bunny ranch.
Oh, yeah. Oh, and a tube.
Open your eyes for me.
Feel the burn.
Feel the burn. Good stuff. Right, let's go.
As the team manipulates his ankle back into place,
Oh.
Neil is oblivious.
Wow. That is weird. Woo! Woo!
A cast keeps Neil's ankle stable until his surgery.
Okay, Neil. Well done. That's us.
I'm the man.
I'll have what he's having.
This is good.
Well, there goes my line.
Ah! Whoa, baby! Go for it! Yeah!
Okay, Neil.
Excellent! Woo!
That's you. You've got your plaster on, okay?
What, already?
Oh, he sounds pretty plastered to me.
You did well.
Come on, that's
you done. Okay. You had a good wee trip there. All right, so we'll leave you to it.
man, that's the best
You should go
snake
back.
line, long roll snake tube ever.
Okay, awesome. Think you liked it?
Yeah,
We liked it.
get on the board.
So his reaction was probably slightly atypical, but it was still a positive reaction. But yeah, his is a more interesting reaction so far.
Hi, Neil. Is it Neil Buchanan?
Yeah, I'm suffering, leave me alone.
Can I ask you a couple of questions?
How rad am I?
No. Is your ankle sore? How are you feeling?
Feeling like I could probably walk across the ceiling on it.
Dancing on the ceiling?
Yeah, Lionel Richie. What a feeling.
Those are my brain feces, David Collins. Wasn't that fun, David Collins?
What did you eat?
Lots of mushrooms. What did you eat?
Nothing to produce that pile of what I've just saw. That is interesting, though. I'm not sure if anybody, we'll move on. After so many drinks, I feel so strongly that everybody's got to hear my jokes. But I think that one's just going to have to be buried there. Anybody rewind to find the great plaster joke.
Eric, what did you think of the man that had Special K and that moaned like a crazy man?
Hey, David, I bet you've never made another human moan out in excitement like that. True or false?
Oh, he called you out. Have you ever made a man or woman moan like that, David Collins?
I don't think that's relevant, but Eric actually has a lot in common with Special K, minus the K.
You're calling him special. I think Eric's special, too. Eric, we both think you're special. Eric, do you, Eric, think that you, Eric, are special? Are you a special boy, Eric? Eric, where are you? Are you special?
Maybe.
Eric, you're special.
Yes.
Yes, see, he is special. He takes some coaxing, David Collins, but he knows he's special. Anyway, that was a fun clip package. Thank you for sticking around to watch the clip package with me, David Collins.
Interesting clip package, 100%. Well, I'm so happy to be here and experience what that was. I'd hate to say experience your feces, but I guess that's, in a sense, what we all did.
Oh, we did experience my feces a little bit. My head's feces, but it's really the feces from you that you put in my head when you sit on me and watch your silly social medias. I'm just here to absorb it all, David Collins.
Right. Well, my bathroom personally is a cell phone free zone. I don't really agree with, too many people are connecting those two subjects, and I believe we have to nip that right in the bud.
Ooh, I'd like to nip David Collins right in the bud. David Collins has a nice bud. Look how skinny he is. He's like a twink. Has anyone called you a twink before, David Collins?
Not in many years, I'll say that much.
Ooh, I bet you had some fun. David Collins, guess what time it is?
Is it game time?
To eat the poo-poo. To eat the poo-poo.
That African that you're quoting there from that clip, incidentally, this is too much to get into. That man, though, the Eat the Poo-Poo man, he's actually scheduled to be on a show that I'm loosely familiar with, but I'm hearing this because I'm trying to get the host of that show on my show. So it's funny that you would bring up that clip. Maybe we can use it to our advantage.
Yeah, well, I eat the poo-poo, so that's why I love that man, because he always has songs about eating the poo-poo. Although I don't think he really wants you to eat the poo-poo. I think they reversed it on him, a reverse Uno card. But I still love Eat the Poo-Poo. So, yes, he's great. But here, the number 3 poo-poo eater of the week, not poo-poo eater. No, you got me all confused. Number 1 crap talker of the week, David Collins. Would you like to see him?
Oh, I love a top 10 list, but this is
it's a top 3. I only have time for 3.
Zion Williamson. Okay.
This is Zion. And
now, is this related to the Israel-Palestine thing that's been going on?
Don't say those words. Those words are against YouTube's terms of service right now. We call them the Peaceful East.
The Israeli-Palestine conflict.
This is not that. This is Diane Williamson talking crap. Literally a crap talker, saying the word lackadaisical, but not really doing a great job. That qualifies for talking crap. Here we go.
I think we kind of went into the game too, like a
Yes, Zion, number 3, talking crap of the week with lackadaisical. Isn't that fantabulous?
I'm not sure what I saw. Was he rapping?
He was rapping there for a minute, but I don't think he meant to. I think that was post-production stuff over here on our end.
I see.
All right, are you ready for number 2?
Are we already on number 2?
Then we're number 2.
Eat the poo-poo. To eat the poo-poo.
Our number 2 was submitted by you, Dabid. So
right.
Here it is, Danny Polituck. So tell us, David Collins, why is Dabby Polituck a talking crap number 2 this week?
Well, I'd love to see whatever clip that you decided to pull here, but when you asked me if there was anybody that I would ever feel any instinct even to mention a negative word of course, they usually find themselves on our David Collins Red Cards, which is a regular segment that we like to do on our show. And you'll notice it's Danny Polishchuk and not potential friend of the show, Aaron Putnam, who we've now pranked back and are kind of on an even playing field. He blocked me. We gave him a prank. That's even. Danny Polishchuk here only decided to block us on all social medias. And that's why Danny Polishchuk gets a red card this week.
Oh, those are good reasons. You were talking crap about Danny Polituck, and for good reason.
I'm not even sure why. This is a man that has no experience in the industry. I'm sure he didn't do a radio a day in his life. And now he's here blocking other people former radio, trying to get them on the show, just blocking them without even a quick response. This is an interesting picture. It actually reminds me of that Marilyn Manson character that you played earlier. But why don't we go ahead? Do you have a clip from Danny Polishchuk? I'm not the happiest with this guy right now.
I did, but then
around.
So the thing with this guy is he makes sure all his clips are copyright. He's a total douchebag. I put 10 of his clips through the copyright in YouTube and they all came up, he will strike you. So I don't want to play his clips because he's a douchebag who will strike your channel. And that's a reason why I put him at number 2 and not number 3. Fuck you, Danny Polishchuk. Don't strike creators for playing your stuff. We're trying to promote you.
Well, I won't go that far, but Danny Polishchuk, you got a red card this week.
He does. He's a bad
Really,
boy.
no clip of this. I'm going to go ahead and have to play a clip. We'll have to find an opportunity. There's no way that he would go about. Maybe that's how we're going to have to get his attention. I'll just take clips and we'll post it on the David Collins. Jerry, could we do that? Could we just take his clips and put it on our channel? Would that be an issue? Maybe we'll have to talk about that after the show.
He will strike your channel, and then you will have to fight him in court. It will be fun, David Collins.
That'd be great. It would give me a reason to
visit.
It would give me a reason to visit the Northeast, and maybe I could run into you.
Yes, apparently his material is very racy. I did not know this, David Collins. That is why he copyrights it, so he doesn't get himself in trouble, because it's a very bad material for families and kids.
I see. Well, this is a terrible picture that we're looking at. Is there no other views of him that we get?
This is all we were allowed to use by the copyright police. Matter of fact, I think we went over our time. We're in trouble, David Collins. Because of your number 2, we're in trouble. I did that
going
for
back
you.
And forth. He kind of looks like me.
He does kind of look like you, except you have that weird vagina on your face, David
Well, it's
Collins.
interesting. He's Jewish, but I am Polish by nationality, so maybe we do have some similar blood there. That must have to be my next opening. Unfortunately, he's blocked us on everything at this point, so I'm not sure how we're going to re-engage this conversation.
The same man that has blocked you everywhere is the same man that makes his stuff come. This is a very fragile man. Be careful around him.
If anybody's at a Danny Polishchuk show, please get a picture with him and send it to dc30minutehalfhour@gmail.com. We will display it on the show prominently, alongside with a great Danny Polishchuk red card.
Yes, but do not scare him, because he is very easily frightened. He will block you and run away, even though his humor is very risque. It is quite the needle that he is threading here, David Collins.
Right, well, that was a beautiful verse also. Congratulations.
Thank you. Would you like to see the winner and number 1 of this week's? I can't find it, David.
Do you have any build-up here? What I've noticed about this countdown is right away you deliver, maybe a drum roll or some sort of way to build up. Not to
David Collins, you asked and you shall receive, David Collins. Our number 1 is Draymond Green. Yes, Draymond Green. And our winner of the week is Draymond. A man that did his talking with his fists and elbows and knees and balled up hand to your groin. This one, Draymond Green. I believe we have a highlight film of Draymond doing his crap talking with his fists. Let's watch, David Collins.
Welcome to Draymond's Hall of Pain.
He took that man out, David Collins. That's not a basketball play.
In the World Wrestling Federation.
Oh, that's a charge.
Over Nurkic.
Offensive foul, David Collins. This is a very violent man, David Collins. He's gonna kill that man, David Collins.
They were going at each other's heads. That was serious.
Right there. So he grabs Draymond's leg right there. Now Draymond steps on him.
Serious. Oh no!
Wow.
And Jordan Poole has never played the same, David Collins. Oh, he took him down.
He looked like Rey Mysterio out on there in the court.
David Collins. That's crazy that the WWE is in the NBA. Isn't that amazing?
Well, I couldn't imagine. Some of those, it reminded me of American history exited from the game.
Hey-oh. That's a funny joke, David. Eric, did you have a thought on what you just saw? The violence that you just saw? Do you have a thought?
A lot of people say that the NBA has gotten soft.
Uh-oh.
But if you ask me, this is the type of Detroit Piston bad boy mentality in the league to battle this influx of mostly soft and effeminate European players. We gotta keep this game streets.
Yes, Eric, I agree. We created this game in the streets of urban America. We can't let these big Europeans come over and take it over. So yes, I am a fan of Draymond Green pushing and shoving them to the ground and beating them to a pulp. What do you think, David Collins?
I only think that was a surprisingly articulate answer coming from Eric.
It was. Eric sometimes cares about what he talks about. It seems like he likes the NBA.
Right.
It doesn't seem like he liked anything before that.
Why, Eric? How do you feel about these in-game, in-season tournaments that they're doing now? It's very strange, and I'd love to ask about the Bulls court, especially, of course, here in the Midwest that I find myself now. I've been in Iowa now for the last year. Everybody's talking about this Bulls court that is almost unwatchable.
Yes, Eric. Do you like the in-season tournament?
Yes.
Yes. Do you like the colors of the court?
Yes.
Do you like Chicago's court?
No.
Right.
No.
And that really seems to be the take from the nation, as far as I'm hearing.
Yes. Everything about Chicago is terrible, except the rapper Quell. Quwel. He is amazing, David Collins.
Oh,
do you know Quell?
Their streets are very pretty. I do not
Chicago
know.
streets are pretty?
They are. In fact, the cleanest. You go downtown Chicago, you'd be very impressed by, you'll see the migrants outside of the police stations, but the homeless are very, very far dispersed. You won't see them on nice main streets in Chicago. It's a great place to visit. I'd encourage, of course, like I've already mentioned, former friend of the show, potential friend of the show, Aaron Putnam, is a Chicago comedian. So in order to prank him, we did have to make a trip out there. And that's one thing that I noticed, those clean streets.
Yeah, it's always fun when you can talk to your friends through a show with people watching. That's fun. There's only 17 of us, so it's almost like we're all just personal friends on a bus.
Well, that's great. Unfortunately, none of them have decided, oh, here we go. Jay Cords went ahead and emailed me, love the show, man. Thank you, Jay.
Thank you. Thank you, Jay Cords. That's amazing. That's astonishing. That's profound. That is astronomical that you would contact him. Now, make sure you send all your dick pics to him because he wants them. He wants the dick pics.
You can keep those away, but it was dc30minuteandhalfhour@gmail.com. It is very strongly filtered, so I don't think that's going to get through. But thanks so much for that email, Jay Cordell.
Yes, and that is a good plug. And make sure you watch the 30-minute half-hour show on Facebook and YouTube. It is the best show on TV that is on Hactor Studios.
It really is a growing production. We're so happy with the response that we've been getting. We also have something that we're going to be doing with the Blind Mike Project towards the end of the month, which is somewhat exciting. And we also have an award show that we're working on for the end of the year. So definitely follow that 30-minute half-hour show.
I definitely would recommend. Eric, do you have anything to say to David Collins before he goes?
David, just go out and try and have some sex, and maybe you won't come off as such a unique brand of weirdo. And
Facts.
I know weirdo's David Collins, and you're a special one.
Oh, I think Eric likes you. I think he called you a special weirdo.
Well, he
That's
didn't want
amazing.
to.
Congratulations, David Collins.
He didn't want to insist on calling me David No Dead Air Collins, but I'll take the compliment as close as it will.
Yes, you are amazing, David Collins. I'd like to thank you for our time. But before we go, I would like to tell everyone, make sure you click on the link here to get gift memberships. And David Collins suggests that you buy a membership to Hactor Channel so you can see more David Collins and Jan. John.
I was so excited to speak with Electra. Is she not going to make an appearance on today's show?
And let me see if Eric will let her out of the cage. She is the second producer on the show.
Oh, hey.
Electra, hello.
There you are, Electra. I've never heard your Electra is here emailing David Collins all day, every day. Never get to hear her speak, so it's very nice to hear you speak, Electra.
It's so nice to meet you, David Collins.
What a pleasure.
It is, really is. But Jan, don't give me any more of that crap, okay? Too much crap from you.
What happened to your voice? You sound like you're from Mississippi all of a sudden.
What do? A lot of people don't know. We did a little research. I have a great research team here. Electra is an online, is that what you would call this, an online radio show?
Don't answer that. He keeps trying to nail us down on what this is. David Collins, this is a psychedelic dream. You are not here. You are in the last moments of your life.
You never know what Jerry's going to slip
see.
me. I visit his family, I see his nice child here, and he slips me something in the drink. It's not the first time that this would have happened.
Are those margaritas?
They are not. Actually, what I'm doing here, we have a little vodka. I decided to cover up the label because they're not a sponsor. We have some orange juice here. We do a dip of the orange juice, and I have some seltzer water that's also orange flavor. Then we have an ice bucket here. So we mix all those together, and we have a nice screwdriver seltzer, basically. We're kind of going for that angle here. Jerry is doing something with apple, but I chose the orange today.
That looks lovely, I have to say.
It does.
I wish you had brought me some.
Well,
your poops are gonna taste wonderful, David Collins.
I'm happy to hear.
I can't wait to taste them. Yum 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 yum. Do you want me to sing a song about David Collins' poop?
I'm a big fan of song parodies. If anybody's watched the show, they'll know how much I am a fan of song parodies.
David Collins likes to poop. It tastes like a margarita in my scoop. That's what I call my mouth, my scoop. Cause I eat it up and lick it down and stuff you in my mouth. David Collins. Cause your poop is tasty and I will eat it all. David Collins. David. Ooh. David Collins. Ooh. David. Ooh. David Collins. Yes, it's a good song. Not my best David Collins. But they had no arms. Did you like
That's
my
a
song,
hit
David?
if I ever heard one.
That was great. I was a big fan of it until the second chorus. I must say I did get a little distracted. I was just telling Jerry you should have been sitting here the whole time. But he insists that he's got this new haircut and he really doesn't want to be on camera. So that's really what's
Let's
going
see the
on here.
haircut. Come on, Jerry, let's see it.
David, is that fake leather couch? Is that a fake leather white couch, David Collins?
I don't believe there's any fake leather involved. It's very clearly woven.
I cannot see. Can you bring the camera close and take your shirt off and lay on it for me?
We will not be able to do so. Unfortunately, this whole process is very strenuous.
David, you are such a twink. I want to see you with your shirt off.
I told you, we don't do drugs. I don't do any form of tweaking.
It's not tweaking. It's whatever. All right. Well, thank you, everyone. That's the time. And just to remember, if you donated more than $20, then you get a poster. And it's signed by 7 of us. Look at it, signed by so many of us
Well,
from
it's interesting
Hactor.
you say that about the posters. We actually are doing something similar on our show. It's going to be announced. We didn't want to give anything away. I have an amazing guest planned for next week, and I'd hate.
He does not know that I do mine first. We're doing mine first, then yours, David. Here's my poster. Buy it, $20.
Fortunately, I seem to be muted during this period of time, so that's what we're running into right now. But I was just saying, Electra had brought up this great idea for the holiday season. We're going to be sending out T-shirts to people that email us on the show, and we're going to be announcing that on next week's episode. But if anybody gets to us early here, maybe I'll be able to send you an early T-shirt. So we have some T-shirts and pins that I've had for quite a long time at this point, but now we have some people that are looking to get those in the mail. So thank you, Electra, for that suggestion. And maybe we'll get one to you soon if you get that to us in our email after we announce it on the show next week.
That's great. That's
okay, David. Okay, David. I just unmuted you. You say that all again.
These are what they look like. In fact, well, I'll just say this. You know, we have these T-shirts here. David Collins, 30 minutes. And this is what John here has been waiting for this entire show.
Take it off, baby.
We have a lot. Oh, let's go ahead.
We were hoping you would take more clothes off, David. Oh, there it goes. Here comes the belly. Look at the belly. Look at the belly, people. He's packing a 9-incher. You can tell. Fry, Electra Fry, he's got a 9-incher. Can't you tell?
Well, I'm just looking, trying to see.
Oh, you know what I noticed?
You would hang down to the water in my bowl.
The clip that I used here is actually on my sweater, so we're running into a bit technical difficulties, but this is the shirt, David Collins' 30-minute half-hour shirt. We have so many of, and I'd like to get them dispersed. We've gone to comedy shows and tried to get rid of them, but that does not seem to be getting rid of a lot of them.
You can come over and put them all over my bed, and then we can roll around in it, David Collins.
I think I put this on upside down. Am I looking okay?
You looking like a... David Collins is a sexy man. All right, I got to get out of here so I
really
don't
feels like we've reached the
harass
after hours
David
portion
Collins.
of this show, if I'm not mistaken.
What?
After hours portion.
Oh,
Take
yes.
off another layer. Why not? Why not? It's all good.
Just a reminder, if you would like to purchase one of the posters, there's a Cash App and the Venmo. And also go to hackrightthedemon.com. That's my plug.
Oh, Jerry,
Fry,
we never even got to my favorite joke.
What's your favorite joke, David Collins?
Oh, do we have time? This is perfect. It actually is shared with Winston Churchill. This is Winston Churchill's favorite joke, too, so it's a great joke. Are you ready?
I'm ready, David Collins.
Have you heard about Abraham Lincoln at the party? Did you hear about this?
I did not, David Collins.
Abraham Lincoln, he's at this party, and he was arguing with a woman at the party, and this woman's yelling at him. And the woman says to him, you know, Lincoln, if you were my husband, I'd make you a cup of tea, and I'd poison it. And Abraham Lincoln looks back at her and says, well, if you were my wife, I'd drink it. Winston Churchill.
Baba Booey.
Joke. Fun fact there.
He was also like Eric in a wheelchair.
Well, I wouldn't say like Eric, but, you know, we may have some comparisons there. I'm a big fan of comparisons.
Yeah. Well, that was a really fun joke. I'm glad you shared it with us
Where
on the
must
way
you be
out.
getting to, John?
What?
Where must you be getting to?
I gotta go eat some poop.
Right.
I've been here for an hour and a half. I haven't eaten any poop at all.
Surprised I haven't heard more knocking.
Well, you know, sometimes they wait until my show's over, but I think they are starting to knock.
You know what the
there
people
they are.
love? I noticed this about other productions that I watch. These people,
there they
they're
are.
so happy when a show ends naturally and is not escalated to an end. And I'm so happy that we were able to.
I finally get what he's doing. He's not letting us in. He's just going to keep talking because this is his Eric Andreing of us.
You on muting me here?
I'm not muting you. I'm trying to do the end of the show, David
I
Collins.
understand. Well, I love a good ending here. How do we end this show?
You jerk off inside of me.
You've insisted. I can pull back up that terms of service that you insisted was a big. I think we've got another. One more from. Oh, we got a couple here. Lisa Henry writes penis. Thank you. And,
did you send a penis?
Wes Harris says, hello, David. You're obviously going places, young fella. Regards at Wes11 Bravo. Well, thank you, Wes. I hope you're not the Wes that I hope you're more attractive.
David,
all right, well, that covers it for all the chats that I had here. Do you have any chats that you had to fill out at the end of the show?
How many layers were you wearing inside, David Collins?
You know, you'll never guess. And that's a bit of a look into my life. You never know how many layers deep you have to go.
Eric is a tremendous disappointment to everyone. Yes, I understand.
Right.
And speaking of which, Eric, do you have anything to say to me before we leave today? Because this is the last chance you may ever get to say anything.
Fuck off. Never make me do this again. Now get over here. I gotta take a shit.
Oh, I get to eat Eric's shit. David, I get to eat Eric's shit. Isn't that amazing?
Well, that's great. I hope it doesn't taste anything like the drink that I just breathed in.
Well, I'm sorry, your drink is terrible. Maybe it has something to do
I'm
with
only
where
getting
you
it
live.
mixed up. You know, like I said, I was telling you before the show, and you said, stop, this is great material for the show. It was not great material for the show. It's something personal to me. I'm a big fan of clove cigarettes. I've smoked them for about 14 years now. Incidentally, I started smoking them the year they were banned in the United States. Very bad timing, but you are able to get Durham Blacks. I'm a big fan of Durham Blacks, but I knew this show was happening, and I like to. So Jerry went ahead and got me this nice vape, and I've been dealing with my nicotine cravings through this vaporizer throughout the show. So thank you, Jerry. And I guess, are we at the end of the show? Thank you, Jan and Electra, for having me on the show this evening.
Thank you, David Collins, and I'm so happy that you found the cocaine halfway through the show. You should have done it before the show, but you found it halfway through, and that is all that matters. Yay.
Well, I've told my opinion on drugs multiple times throughout the show here. I'm not sure where we're getting mixed up.
Yes.
And David Collins, do you want to plug your show at all? Do you have any plugs for us?
Well, everybody should already be listening to David Collins' 30-minute half-hour show. In fact, I was at a comedy club this evening, and I don't think I'm ever going to be able to get back into that club. I was talking this person's ear off. I can't remember his last name. What was his last name? Is Paul. I was talking to Paul and John, incidentally, not a package deal, and I was telling him how much I love.
Wait, we were talking to the Beatles?
And that is, it was Pat. Pat, you know, good luck remembering his last name. I don't even remember his first name. But boy, will I not be allowed back in that club after talking these people's ear off over my show? And these people, they love podcasts. You'd think that they'd want to hear about more of a fun, show that's similar to podcasts. We are actually working on our own David Collins 30-minute half-hour podcast, and that's going to be something we're trying to package them up and bank them up for the new year. We have so many great things happening on David Collins 30-minute half-hour show. I can't stop telling people about it, and I think that's actually gotten me excluded from a venue. Maybe we'll have to get a red card coming into 2024.
Yes, David, if I were to say one thing about you that everyone should know, it's about your brevity. You really like to make things compact and efficient, not stretch things out and ruin what was previously something good by making it horrible and elongated. That is not David Collins I know.
I think I told you before when we were talking about jokes how much of a fan I am of word economy.
You are. Your economy is very large. You should shrink it down. Think
That's
Japan.
What they say. It's the economy, stupid.
And with that, folks, our wonderful friend David Collins. And he just had it. What? David, don't leave like that. Why did David leave like that? He just ran away. David, come back. No, he just left again. David, don't do that to us. All right, ladies and gentlemen, making sure you go to 30-minute half-hour show. David Collins. Electrify, did you like the show tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. She already hated it from the beginning. I said, no, we're doing it anyway. Because I like saying David Collins. This whole show happened so I could say David Collins 50 times. And that will be the clip tomorrow. Electrify, get to work.
Alrighty then.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Make sure you get the membership, and then you will see this. Or maybe I'll make it free, and if you don't get a membership, you'll see it. That way you have to get it either way. Do you understand? I will torture them, Electrify.
Enough with the crap, okay? Enough with the
All
crap.
right. David Collins, stick around. I wanted to talk to you after. Don't run away. All right, everyone. Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, look, there's Whitney and Matthew. Hi, Whitney and Matthew.
You're not John. You're not John. It's spelled like John, but it is pronounced like yawn. And Eric the actor as the DJ. You, this body will be super. Actor at the turntables. All the girls will get wet. You're not John.